So, Danny, could you talk to us a little bit about Small Giant's approach in developing opportunities for impact investment?
Yeah, I think what we try and do is look at two angles. One is from the sort of social enterprise angle, the people who have come with a very strong intention for creating change. And that's one, and I think that the traditional social enterprise pipeline or pathway has been through that journey. But we also look from people who are coming basically from the commercial end, who don't sort of even realise that they're a social entrepreneur or impact investing, and then sort of tweak them and bring them into the fold, which I think tends to yield generally better results because they haven't come with a specific mindset. They just come with, here's a great business, here's an idea, I want to create it, and I think it's going to make a bit of a difference.
Yeah. And what have you found is the results of the investments you've made so far in terms of how many groups have you invested into and how many of those are actually delivering the returns, blended value returns you were hoping for?
We're invested in about 12, I think, give or take. We've had a couple of failures, a couple that aren't around anymore, which is great learning. We've had a couple that are sort of just floating along. Most of them have done pretty well, varying rates. We've got, sort of our organic tampon company has been a real sort of shining light that we took and has grown by about 30 times since we took it on in terms of revenue and is now profitable, which is great. So that's a big jump. In terms of impact, I think we're starting now to get to the stage of really trying to identify and measure that impact. We've got, intuitively we know that, naturally organic is, we think is better than non-organic because it's less sprayed. But now we're sort of trying to measure, okay, how many acres are actually being safe from being sprayed?
Okay.
How many, tons of landfill is being saved if we can, reduce packaging and, things like that. So we're starting now to get a little bit deeper into measuring the actual impact on the particular areas.
Okay. In that sort of portfolio of investments, have you had to do quite a bit of granting to enable the investment opportunity?
Mostly not in the investments themselves. Most of them have come in as an investor. A few of them we have given some small grants or donations or discounted early investments. So I think for some in any venture capital you might do that, free office space or things like that. But I think we've had to go a little bit further on some. Being much kinder on, expecting no security on loans and things like that, or discounted returns on loans. But mostly it's been like an investment style relationship from the beginning.
Okay. And can you just tell us a little bit about the team that you've pulled together to execute your impact investment strategy, if you like?
Yeah, the team is, we're small, we're a close team, 7 of us, but of the 7 there are really 3 that focus specifically on the investing. There's a CFO and an assistant and a bookkeeper. But I got there one I took with me from Engineers Without Borders, who's been with me for about 5-6 years. Kai Meliani I found at Oxford. She was doing the Skoll Centre for Social Entrepreneurship MBA.
Yep.
Amazing, and I think that's probably a really, really wonderful place to recruit. They do choose amazing people. And Adam, who runs all of our property, also came from an old friend who sort of reconnected and found each other. But it is interesting. If you sort of think, where do we start finding our people? There's still not a direct pathway. We still find them from all around the place.
So it was more the relationship based or alignment of values that drove you to work together.
Yeah.
In terms of your work around building out investment opportunities, you've spoken a bit about some support needed for organisations you invested in. Is there work or granting that you've done for the broader marketplace development, if you like?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is sort of one of the keys that we need a lot more of. And a lot of investors that are already looking need to appreciate that if you get a great investment, you can go straight in or just give them a little bit of help. But in order to get that investment on the table in the first place, we really need to build infrastructure. And for us, examples are things like B Corporation that didn't exist in Australia, and without that, which is an amazing measuring tool for businesses, then you just, A, you're spending a lot more on due diligence having to do it all yourself, but B, you've got no filter to find the good ones. Things like the Hub and the Difference Incubator and all these things, if we don't have that, we're not going to get the pipeline and the pathway to be able to find the organisations we want. We're all just going to be sort of, blind feeling around for something. So, there's been quite a lot. We invested in the Cedar Fund as well, try and get that started. We felt like we've had to often get in a lot below what we would otherwise have wanted to in order to sort of get the industry and get the community up to a standard that's investable.
Thank you so much.
Cool.